Naked Shamanism. Welcome to With Insights Radio. I'm your host, Iggy Garcia. I will take you on a journey across the universe through shamanism, metaphysical, and holistic. So sit back and relax and enjoy the show. All right. Welcome to Iggy Garcia Live, episode 83. We are the ones we have been waiting for or looking for or whatever. So, I want to start off with lighting our candle. Give thanks to our ancestors. Give thanks to those that we love, those that we care about. Give a little bit of love to them so we don't forget them. Take a little moment to think about all those people that we love and we care about. As we hold a candle for them, honoring them, remembering them. As we take a journey today on this show, talking about the things we're going to talk about, we ask the ancestors, we ask that the God-verse help us, guide us, help us to stay focused and say the things we need to say and feel the things we need to feel. So this is candles for all of the people in our lives. And a little agua florida, good old shaman water. This is good stuff. Put on our back of our ears. Helps us to stay refreshed, move energy. Anytime you have a fever, don't feel good, this stuff is really good to use. Agua Florida, Florida water. It always smells so good and refreshing. I love it. Good stuff. Good medicine. I love it. And of course, can't go without burning. Usually I burn sage on the show, but today I think I'm gonna do a little Palo Santo, some holy wood here, some holy stick. This is from South America. This particular one is from Peru, so get that lighted up really nice. The oils come out of that burning pretty good. Feels good. Just kind of get, that smells really good. That feels so good. Palo Santo cleansing. Oh man, I need that today. Yeah, good medicine. Very good. On the camera, I'll send you some Palo Santo over the internet, through the wires, sending you all Palo Santo. So guys, most of you know that I've been doing this project called Getting Fit. It's actually 365 days of getting fit. And not really, not necessarily taking a break, just every day. Find something that you can actually, through wellness or through exercise or through some type of principle of some sort to kind of keep you in shape and keep you moving. It's kind of what I've been doing. If you go to my blog at iggygarcia.com, you can go to the blog section. You can read an article that I wrote in 2018 to 2019, and that article was about what I was going to do back then. Now I'm doing now. So actually, I ended up shifting that energy and coming into this place right now, and so it just took me a while because I had to go through the grieving process. Excuse me, for my father, especially my father, who died very very tragically, and it just was one of those things. But I'm doing better now. I have to say that surprisingly, I'm just I'm more focused now. My mind is a little bit more at ease, understanding that I can move on without them. It's hard because, in Latin cultures, everybody's like this. And sometimes it's too much like this, we're too close. So it's pretty cool to know that we are able to do that. So today, I just want to take a few minutes and just kind of take a couple deep breaths. I know some of you just got home from work. Some of you are just driving down the road. Some of you are just doing whatever you're doing. Some of you are getting ready to go to work, so you can listen to it. So just take a deep breath through the nose. and out through the mouth. One more time. And then take a really deep one and hold it. Very good. That way we can get in alignment, okay? So today's show is going to be a little two-part show. We're going to talk a little bit about the topic that I mentioned earlier. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Actually, I am the one I've been waiting for. That's what I posted on my Facebook page. So I'm going to pick cards today. And so basically there'll be a time in the show where I'll actually do a reading for you. So I'm going to pick a card for our general read just to kind of get us going here. So we can kind of get the show off to a good start. And then, let's see, there we go. All right, I've got a card, and here it is. And the card is the Turtle. Good Gaia. Retreat, stop trying to make something happen. Woohoo! Wow. Is that powerful card or what? Just be fluid like the turtle in the water. Know your environment. Know what you're capable of doing. So many of us are like the turtle out on the land. We try to do things, or we force things, or we're not patient, and then we're like the sea turtle. We're cumbersome, and we can't move, and we're uncomfortable, and yet we started off in the land because that's where our mom laid eggs in the sand as the heat heats them up. But anyhow, then when the turtle goes to sea, she or he are the most fluid there. They're the most adept, being in the water and just being in that flow, moving through that flow. It's all about being in the flow. So that's our card for today. This is our turtle card. So remember, we have the turtle card as our sponsor of the day, presented by Turtle. Tortuga. Tortuga is turtle in Spanish. So guys, here's where I've been kind of thinking. For a long time, I personally have been, you're always waiting for something to happen or something to occur or something to get you in the right place of mind. And then, I've been doing this work for a long time, and then, I'm thinking there's always new things are going to come up, and you're going to adapt, you're going to change, you're going to be doing new things, you're going to find new modalities. But what I found is when you take action and, and you start doing the things, instead of talking about doing them, it's so easy to say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And, sometimes things don't work out, and that's okay. Sometimes they just don't. And then sometimes things work out very well, and sometimes they work out into your benefit. But you won't know until you try. And the thing is, if we don't try, we'll never know. So what I'm suggesting here is, sometimes we wait for people who we feel are going to help us. And we wait sometimes thinking that we're for the right situation. We wait for things to just fall in our lap. And yet, then we've waited so long that nothing happens. Then we get discouraged and we get frustrated. We get bothered. And then the next thing we know, we're in this pattern. We're stuck in this pattern. And then all of a sudden we just don't feel like ourselves, and we're not productive in the ways that we should be. And so when I thought of this topic today, my friend Dawn and I were talking a little bit about, because she's really likes the videos that I've been doing, the Get Fit videos. Every day I'm trying to find a different, type of exercise or some type of movement or principle to do. And, she said it was pretty inspiring, She goes, you're the one you've been waiting for. So I want to give her a little credit for that, for her saying that. And so I kind of took that and put it on my Facebook page, because I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, all this time I'm like waiting for the right moment, the right situation, and then sometimes it's just me that I've been waiting for. It's me that will make the decision. It's me that, if I take the step forward, it's me. It's you. If you decide to stay in the energy you're in, it's you. And sometimes you're in a situation that you can't just leave, and I get that, and I understand that, and it's totally understandable. But there's times where you do have control. There is time where you do have the ability. There is time where you do have the capacity to make the decision that you want for yourself. It's not as hard as we think. Sometimes we make it hard because, we've just been conditioned so much by society, the people who raised us. It could be any myriad of things that put us in a certain frame of mind. But I'm here to tell you that you are the one you're looking for. You're the person that you've been waiting for. And you know what? If you're trying to find love through someone else and through other people, Yeah, that's good. That's fine. That's the agape love, right? That's the love that, is, unconditional per se. But what we're trying to do, and what I'm talking about, is the love that you have for yourself, how you feel about you. And I know some of us aren't happy and don't like us the way we are. And it can be for many reasons. It can be for a lot of things. But I'm here to tell you, you are the person you've been waiting for. You are the one who will be able to manifest and create the things that you want. Some of you may go, oh, I don't have enough money to start my business. Well, it's not that. It's you. It's the positioning, and it's the moving of energy. It's the moving and the directing of the things to bring abundance into your life, to bring the things that you want into your life. Some of you are super good at bringing things into your life. Some of you are very powerful human beings and can do that. But you know what? The thing is, when we're looking for that person, then we take the focus off of us. We totally take the focus off of us. And then you know what happens when we take the focus off of us, then we give away our power. We give away part of ourselves to this person. So how do we re-empower ourselves to find us again? Well, it could be as easy as just making the mindset to do it. It's also finding yourself in a peculiar situation or a traumatic situation where you just had enough. And sometimes, it's just as easy as saying, I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to use myself as an example. For example, this idea that I had about doing this videos about exercising, staying in shape, getting fit, for almost 2 years. And then finally I just did it. February 1st came around. I'm like, I'm doing it. Forget it. It's never going to get done. I'm just talking about it, and waiting for other people to get on board with me and do it. And you know what? Those people are in a different place where they need to be. And, the alignment is not correct. But the alignment for myself is important. I have to align my energy, myself. You have to align your energy and yourself to get you into the place where you need to be. Because if you don't, somebody else is going to do it for you. And see, that's where the problem happens. When you let somebody else dictate what your happiness is going to be. Now, for some of you, maybe that works. For me, not so much. I appreciate being in people's lives and parts and enjoying them and stuff. But there's a part of me that also is like, you know what? I want to do what I want to do because it's important to me. And that's for my soul, my spirit to grow. And so that's why I'm doing the things that I'm doing. This is why I've made a dedicated and a huge effort to become more proactive in the work that I do. I've been doing it, but I'm more proactive. I mean, even more than I have before. More and just be more accessible than I have been. Because if I'm looking for the person who's going to change my life, I'm going to be looking forever. Okay, nobody can change my life except for me. I'm going to be the one who makes the decisions, and I'm also going to be the one who's going to make some errors. I'm also going to be the person who's going to mess it up sometimes. And I'm also going to be the person who's going to make some magic, some beautiful things in collaboration with some very new friendships, some very new friends, relationships, who knows, whatever comes my way. The thing is, when you're in alignment and you're in preparation, you start to vibrate in a frequency that invites that kind of energy back to you. Okay, so what happens is when you're in a good state of mind and you're happy, you're projecting outwardly to other people. People are always reading us. People are always trying to figure us out, per se. Oh, hey, you're in a good mood today. What's going on? It's not that nothing's going on. I'm just in a good mood. We project on because we ask questions like that. What's going on? Because in our lives, sometimes we don't have people ask us what's going on. Because sometimes we're like this. We have the butt face, or maybe we're too overzealous, or maybe we try too hard. But it's easier for us to work on ourselves when we're in the right frame of mind. When we're not in the right frame of mind, it's very difficult. It's very hard. It's very cumbersome. It's something that we have a hard time with sometimes. And, most people don't like themselves, not because they don't like themselves. They just don't like pieces and parts of themselves that have let themselves be violated, let themselves give themselves away. That's what happens when we're unhappy with parts of ourselves and who we feel, who we are. We've given ourselves away to other people so we can make them happy, or they can make us happy, or vice versa. There is no other human being on this planet can make you happy. They can only contribute to your happiness. They can only bring into the relationship or the partnership, you know, and contribute to it as you too. And then you have to find the healthy limits and boundaries between that and how you're going to work it out, how you're going to create manifestation together and working together. And it's not hard. It's just a matter of making a simple decision. Some of us don't want to make that decision because you know what? It's too much work. Being happy is not hard work. Being sad is not hard work. But being disconnected is it's a lonely place. It can be lonely. I've been disconnected. I know. I can speak for myself. But to be lonely and to be in a space where you're isolated and away from people makes it a little bit harder. So how do we get back into the frame of mind that we want to engage? I'm not saying you have to be around people 100 times a day, but how do you get yourself back into the frame of mind for you? Well, you know, here's the thing. If you like being alone, there's nothing wrong with that. If you like being around people, there's nothing wrong with that. But when you're alone, what are you doing? Are you having fun? Are you enjoying it? Or just want to read a book? Just want to chill? You know, I find that human beings really enjoy their time with themselves, that they really enjoy knowing being in their space and feeling the safety of that space, you know. And sometimes we get lost in our minds, and sometimes we get lost and we get disconnected from people because we're entrenchedly too into what we're doing. So it's good for us to step outside of ourselves a little bit so we can have a point of reference. And that point of reference is seeing how other people live. See how other people interact with you. You know, human beings are notorious for projecting onto other people and interpreting and reading people, and they think that it's that way. And, you know, we have not been taught in this society how to echo back or listen to people and go, oh, this is what I heard. But in our society, we're just assuming that everybody has a problem. Something's going on. There's always something, oh, there's something wrong with that guy, you know. You know, 50% of the time, there's probably nothing wrong with anybody. And 50% of the time, there's something probably wrong with them. So you split right down the middle. If someone's sad, you know, sometimes we're sad. Sometimes we get in the moments where we just kind of feel the little sadness creep in. It's not a bad thing. It's good to feel the emotions. It's good to cry. It's good to feel your heart. It's good to feel the brain to the heart, you know. It's good to feel that all together and how it intertwines and tangles with itself. Super important. You know, because when we don't feel, when we're not connected to ourselves, it's how do you connect to somebody? How can you connect to people? Now, other people can reach out to you and break down the barriers for you because they have helped break down the barriers inside themselves. It's easy to get into a depression. It's easy to get into a place of darkness. It's easy to get into a place of loneliness, especially when you've had some kind of traumatic thing happen to you, when somebody's violated you. Now, I'm here to tell you, even though those things have happened to you, and they are real, and I'm not discounting by any means that these things aren't real, but these things, I would have to say, don't really, unless you empower them, have that much control over you as you think. You really have more power over the things that hurt you versus the things that, you know, you believe. It's your belief. If you believe that this thing is stronger than you, then you will do everything. You will play the role to make that thing stronger than you, bigger than you. So how do you break it? Sometimes it's easy to say, I'm done. Sometimes you have to go to counseling. Sometimes you got to go hang out. Sometimes you got to just do something. Sometimes you just got to step out of your house. Sometimes you just got to lock yourself in a room. It's just a matter of practice. It's something that you'll have to find for yourself. Everybody has it. Everybody does it. We're human beings. We have feelings, emotions. We feel, you know, and we have all these things that run through our body, all these chemicals and those chemistries. And for some of us, we're kind of out of balance with ourselves because we've put so much effort that we have to be connected to everything, which is very, very big and powerful. When you think about that, all my relations connected to everything. That's huge. That's big. And I'm a firm believer that we're all connected. You know, that's part of one of my mantras. It's good to be here. You know, Iri Sikwi, you know, all my relations. it means that we're all one. We're all connected. So, but there's a moment in time where we have to find us within all this tapestry of magical God-verse art that has been created in front of us. Sometimes we need to find who we are and move and navigate through that water, because it's important for our health. It's important for us to know who we are and how we fit in to everything that's around us, and how we fit in with the people who we've decided to make partnerships and relationships and be with. Are these people, are they contributing to my life? Am I contributing to their life? And that's super important. A lot of us, and Rosa, I'm reading your post here, and I'm going to read, okay? That's why I've been saying I refuse to let others keep me a victim. I enjoy being happy even if things have happened. Yeah, that's true. And you know what? That's a half-truth. That's part truth. But there's also pieces and parts of you that, it has a memory. You have a memory of that. There is a filing cabinet in our brain that has stored back here those things, and sometimes it gets triggered. But I think, Rosa, I'm going to just guess, I'm going to project outwardly, that you have gotten to the place where you're able to, the trigger is not so powerful anymore, that you're able to move through it quicker than you probably were in the past. And that probably took some time to do that. But either way, I'm glad that you posted that. If you guys have questions, post them. If something you want to share, I'll read it out to the group here. But it's super important. I'm also going to be pulling cards here, so I have my animal cards. So if you want a reading, okay, what I ask you to do is say, I want a reading, pick a number 1 through 5, and I'll pick a card, okay? You just say 1, 2, or 5, and then I'll pick that card, okay? So if you want a reading tonight, I will give you a reading. So at any time while we're doing the show, we'll do a reading. But I think it's important, because I think when you find yourself, you also lose yourself. It's kind of like a oxymoron, It's like, I found myself, and now I lost myself again. And if you follow me, all of a sudden I found myself, and then I've lost myself again, because I have to refine myself again. Because you always have to redefine yourself. Even though you get to the place where you're at. It's like driving to the other side of town. Okay? You're there. But then you have to drive there. And then you have to drive there. And eventually you have to refuel. Okay? All right, Amber. I like a reading. Card number 3. I'm going to shuffle here. All right. 1, 2, and 3. Here we go. All right. I pulled the Antelope card. It's decisiveness, make a decision, and take an appropriate action. Okay. So the antelope, very quick, very fast, very cunning creature. It's also prey. So it's telling you just to be decisive. Make a decision. But when you make the decision, make it something that's appropriate, something that is needed, something that is you need to focus. It's basically what this card is really saying is you need to focus a little bit. There's a lot of things you want to do. There's a lot of things that you want to accomplish, but you have to make a decision. You have to have the decisiveness to do it, because if you don't, you're just going to fall in this rut. You're going to fall in this wheel over and over again, and then you're going to put it on the side burner, and then a year later, you're going to come back to, oh, man, I wish I'd done it. It's kind of like what I did, with this project that I did. So be like the antelope. Be ready to go. Be ready to move. Because when the lion comes, because when the stuff comes in your life that hits you, you either get eaten, okay, or you get out of the way, or you get moving to better pastures, to better version of yourself. So that is the antelope. Hopefully that read resonates with you a little bit, and I hope get something out of that. Very good. All right, Amber, thanks. So basically, finding ourselves is a magical time. When we find that bliss where we're at, when you find your bliss, okay, it's a magical place. But we're humans, so we have ups and downs, and we have to move around. As you do this work, and as you progress and work with people who, like myself, who help you along the path, we are actually helping ourselves too as well. We're actually listening to the messages as well. So as you work with people and you move with people, you're going to find that you're going to have more ups than downs. And when you're down, you'll be able to pull yourself out, because they give you tools. They give you things to work on, things to move through, things to get you in a better frame of mind. So basically, never stop working on you, ever. I got cards, so if anybody wants me to pull another card for them, come just pop in there, 1 through 5, okay? Tell me which number you want, and then I'll pick the card, and I'll give you a reading. So basically tonight, we're just kind of talking about us, you, me, everything, the things we do, the things that make us us. We are who we are because of all the things that we have encountered in our lives and the things that we store in our memory banks. Our memory banks are probably the most powerful things in us, and our little storage bin that's in there. And you know what? As soon as something happens to us, boom, that computer kicks in. Oh my God, the same situation happened to me last time. Blah, blah, blah. You know, but that's exactly what happens. It's just normal. It's a normal thing. That's why we have our memory. That's why we have these things. That's why we know. All right? Okay. Darlene, you want number 5? Okay. And then Diane, I'll give you one here in a second. 5. Okay. Darlene, we'll go with you. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, Darlene. You got the frog. The frog is about purification, clear out the clutter. Bum, bum, bum. It means basically the frog is an amphibian. Okay, it's life. Like, okay, I'm gonna kind of follow me here. It starts its life in the water. Okay, it's water. It's in the water as a tadpole, as an egg and tadpole, and it lives there for a while, and it's in its place. And then eventually it grows some legs, grows some arms, and eventually it becomes El Sapo, El Frog. Okay, so basically what the frog is telling you to do is it's time to move some things out of your life. It's time to move some things that aren't serving you, basically. Okay, it also is telling you that using water to cleanse, it's also telling me to tell you that it is a good time for you to take care of yourself and pamper yourself. Pamper yourself, because if you don't pamper yourself, no one's going to pamper yourself. So if you like roses, fill up the tub, light some candles, throw some roses in there, add a little lavender to the water, and just relax. And take a moment to focus about you. Because what's happening in your life, you're getting all these people who are just kind of like bombarding you at times, and you're not really sure how to move that energy from them because it's just too much. You need to step back, create a healthy barrier with them, a limit and boundaries with them. Say, hey, you know what? Not today. I have some things to do. I think when we don't say, what happens is we actually suffer if we don't. So hopefully that card resonates with you. And the frog is a very powerful, powerful medicine card. All right. So I think Diane had one, and then I think Hayden had 4, I believe. I think this thing scrolled away. All right. All right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and number 5. All right, Diane, I believe that's what the wolf, Diane. Okay, the wolf is the guardian. You are safe, protected at all times. This is a good card. Okay, this is a very good card because what it's saying is that you have your guides and they're working with you, and you've called on them, and it's important because some people don't even know what guides are, and some people don't even know what... Well, most people would probably think of angels as a good example of guides. So anytime you get an animal card here about an animal like the wolf, it's actually... What the wolf is actually presenting here, okay, is by you protecting yourself, meaning you speak your true voice, okay? When you speak your true voice and you exactly say what you need to say versus being quiet, there's a way to speak and there's a way to project what you're feeling inside and the feelings that you're having about certain things. So that's what the wolf's about. It's about howling. It's about speaking. And it's also understanding that the pack, when we move together, that we work together. Okay, so I'm not sure who you're working with or what situation you're in at work per se. It sounds like there's got to be a little bit of work, a little bit of coaching, something to kind of get you going. But the wolf's here to remind you to speak your true voice. You are protected. You are guarded. And I think that's kind of maybe how your personality is a little bit. You're always make sure that no one, doesn't get into your space. But the thing is to speak, not just create these boundaries and then not say anything. It's easy to make a boundary, and then what happens is no one crosses it, and then all of a sudden they're doing it in a different way. So always update your boundaries. Never forget. All right, that is the wolf card. All right, let's go. So I think Hayden had number 4, I believe, and then I think Kate wants 5 here in a minute. Shuffling. Every day I'm shuffling. This is fun. I'm enjoying this. And if you want full card readings, a full medicine wheel card reading, just give me a buzz. We'll set up an appointment, set up a time. And then Hayden, 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Boom. Hayden, you got the otter. Surrender, let go of control. Hayden, whatever you're putting your mind into and your how would I say it? Whatever you're doing right now, where you want it so bad that you're just kind of you're getting stuck in the mud when you don't just let it go. Okay? Sometimes you just have to let things play out versus trying to make them happen. Okay, an otter is very similar to the turtle. When they're out of the water, okay, they are a creature that's a little bit cumbersome. Yeah, they can navigate the land, but when they're in water, they're very majestic, very beautiful, and they love to swim and they move. The water is your power. Water is a good totem for you. Okay, so swimming otter, okay, which is probably going to be your new name, swimming otter, okay, because the fluidity of what you're looking for is through water. It's through connection. It's through this other means of transportation. Okay, so the otter is just telling you, be playful, have fun, don't take it so serious, okay? Because when you take it too serious and you become serious and other people start treating you serious, and then the next thing you know, everybody starts beating you up a little bit, and then you have a hard time knowing how to move on the land. All right, Hayden. I hope you enjoyed that card. All right, Kate, I think you said 5, correct? I believe you said 5. All right, let's see. I am a firm believer that all my experiences make up who I am, good and bad, even my bad. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that, too. That's everything affects us and molds us and creates us, and we just come different. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, Kate, here we go. Okay. Yours is the links. It's about discernment. Look beyond immediate appearances. Okay. So you got your cat card. There's your cat card. See the links? It's like Ollie, big Ollie. Now, the links is telling you to use discernment, okay? All right, look beyond immediate appearances. Okay, so in the work that you do, in the place that you are, and in your life, things look a certain way. Things appear in a certain fashion. And sometimes it's not that way. So you have to use a little discretion, a little discernment to maybe that you're misinterpreting somebody, what they're saying, or how they're approaching you, or how they're projecting onto you. Okay? So you have to look beyond what they're really saying. Sometimes people are saying something, but they're not really saying that. And it goes both ways. It goes the way where they're being facetious with you, but it also it looks like it's facetious, but it's not. Okay, so don't take things personal sometimes. This card is about not taking things personal. And the lynx is also a very powerful totem to have. It's one of those creatures that just very magical creature. You don't see them all the time. They present themselves when they need to be presented. You know, they're kind of they hide in the shadows in the back, and then they come out when they need to come out, and they hunt when they need to hunt. Okay, so your cat here is just telling you, just use, don't jump to conclusions. Just let things flow. And watch the flow, and watch how it moves, and how things are moving through that. All right? So that's a good card. All right, Kate. Moving along. If anybody else wants a reading, if I missed somebody, because I think we've scrolled through, and if I did miss you, please just let me know. Just pop back in there, and I'll give you a reading. Pick a card 1 through 5. We're doing the animal totem cards. I hope that these readings mean something to you guys. If it makes a little sense, all right. Yeah, swimming otter. I like that name too. But the cool thing is just we're always healing ourselves. And sometimes healing ourselves isn't always an easy job. It's not always easy. It's not always the way we think it's going to be. Some of us spend millions and millions and millions of hours, well, not really millions of hours, I'm exaggerating there, but a long time to find answers about things that sometimes we have the answers to. And sometimes we're just afraid to open our mouth, and we're afraid to say what we really want to say or hear what we really need to hear. I know I've done that. And sometimes we'll spend feelings and emotions to avoid saying what we need to say. And so that can be hard. That'd be hard. That's a hard life to live. When you really want to share something and you really want to express something, and then you won't say it because you don't, even if you had somebody close to you, even if you had a psychologist or a counselor, I know this for sure because I've worked with you. There's some things you just won't tell anybody. There's just some things about yourself that you just will not share. It doesn't matter how safe you feel, how close you are. There's just a part of us that we like to stay a mystery sometimes. And we like to think that, we can do it. And we can do it. But you didn't get here by yourself. I didn't get here by myself. There was a lot of help. There was a lot of people who helped us along the way. But there's a lot of us, too, who are looking for happiness in ourselves. To be happy in ourselves is also to understand that we'll be unhappy at times. And that's part of the rub. Part of the rub is knowing that today I'm happy, tomorrow might be a grump. Or I might be sad. I might be heartbroken. But it doesn't last forever. Nothing like that lasts forever. You have to find your bliss, like I said earlier. And your bliss could be many things. It doesn't have to be one thing. The illusion is that we have to have just one thing that centers us, one thing that makes us feel a certain way. You can have multiple things. You have things, and these things are personal. These things are personal. These things that you do, these things that we find our bliss through, can be of a personal nature. Helping somebody, working with somebody, collecting stamps. I don't care what beer cans. I don't care. It doesn't matter. But finding that thing that motivates you, that thing that brings you happiness, is multiple. It's a multiple thing. If you want to be self-employed, then you find things. You find the things that help you. If you want to do, if you love hiking, you hike. If you love swimming, you swim. If you like staying at home, you stay at home. It's just we have so much pressure on us to be humans. We've put so much pressure on ourselves to get it right. We put so much pressure to get an A. We have so much pressure to get into the right college. We have so much pressure to, hopefully help our kids do better than us. We have so much pressure that my kid isn't smart enough and I have to send him to trade school. Nothing wrong with that. But we put pressure on ourselves. And you know what? It's because society expects us to produce. Society expects us to be functional. Society expects us to do things in a way that society expects. And as soon as you step out of bounds, as soon as you step out of the boundaries, as soon as you cross those lines and you scribble the lines and you're out of the coloring book lines, they let you have it. Sometimes. But you will one day, and I guarantee you, one day, you will not care. You will not care. But it'll be a way that's not offensive. It's a way that you just kind of smile. You will get there. If you're not there, you will get there. Trust me on that. You will one day not give a crap if someone has an opinion about you. You will get, one day you will wake up and you'll be like, who are you? Who made you the authority of me? You're not the authority of me. You don't know nothing about me, less as much as I know about you. I'm looking over there because just for dramatic sense. But anyhow, that's my point. My point is that one day you'll wake up. One day, you're not going to be shy. One day, you're not going to be so loud. One day, you're going to be blah, 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 or this or that. I just want you to know that your life is your life. You can make it whatever you want it to be. But you're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to earn it. You're going to have to prove to yourself that you can do it. If you want it to be different, it's one thing to talk about it. Oh, I wish my life was different. I wish this. One thing to talk about it. One thing is to take action. One thing is to move into that energy, move into that space that brings you to the place that you want to be. Get into as many places, as spaces, and things that you need to do. It takes time. And for some of us, we're lucky because, we make the decision and we're there. And for some of us, it could be a lifetime. Now, I know some of you here believe in the one and done theory. We die, we go to wherever we go, heaven or whatever. And then some of us believe that we come back. Some of us believe that we've lived thousands of lives. And then this life, for some reason, seems so real and it seems so important. This may be the life that you get it right. This may be the life that you are ready to move on. You also have the choice not to come back. Most people don't understand that. You come back, fulfill your cause and effect that you've caused in the world, your karma and your dharma, and then you can move into those right spaces. Now, if you were to die and you believe that we just go to the ground, your existence doesn't just stop. And I think I talked about this in the last show. When you die and you think you just become worm food, no, you become very powerful stuff. You become worm poo. And you know what you do? You fertilize the earth. You make things grow. Things come from that. So don't discount the little earthworm. Don't discount the little ant. Even though they may not see us and know that we're there, they're there. Do they pray to us like we pray to unseen gods or demiurges or whatever? I don't know. I'm not an ant. I would have to guess that they're busy doing what they do. Just like us, we're busy doing what we do. And I'm sure there's a whole universe right in front of us that we can't see because we're so busy doing what we do. If we had the eyes and the ears to see that world, I think it would frighten us a little bit. But I believe, as I'm sitting here, there's multiple worlds layered upon our world within this universe. I believe that. I really, truly believe that. If you know anything about quantum physics, they talk about the 2D plane, 3D planes, and all the things that come with that. So, before I take off, anybody else want a card reading real quick? Pick 1 through 5, and I'll pick you a card and give you a reading. That way, we can pull one more card before we leave. So, if you want me to draw a card for you, let me know. That way I can give you a read. And hopefully it'll be a good one. But I hope you're enjoying. I hope you're enjoying everything that we're talking about today. I hope that you're getting what you want out of life. Life is to be enjoyed. Life is to be experienced. Life is to be entrenched in the beautiful things that it offers. Of course we have to survive. We have to pay bills. We have to pay, whoever, whatever. We have to work in order to pay these things off. And I understand that. But there was a time where we didn't have to do that. There was a time where we ate from the earth. There was a time where we lived a certain way. And now we live in ways that, maybe we live a little bit longer. But we're not always happy living in this 3D world that we've created. This world that we are in. This world with constructs, in boxes, in roads that lead us to point A to point B and lead us to work, to restaurants, to the hospitals. You can tell that there's problems in our world. You can tell that there's things that are not right. Okay? If you just look down the street, let's say Children's Hospital. I remember when Children's Hospital was a little hospital, nothing very big. Now you go to Children's Hospital, it's huge, and it's filled with lots of sick little people. Little people having ailments that you wouldn't get so much later in life. Or, just they're having adult-like things happening to them. Life is very stressful. It could be a myriad of things. It could be food. It could be schooling. It could be association. But it saddens me to see such a huge hospital. And, even down by OSU and Riverside Hospital, these hospitals keep getting bigger and bigger. And I don't know. I don't know what to say sometimes. It's concerning to me. It's concerning to me. And it's really sad to me to watch this. That so many people suffer. And so many people are having such a hard time in their lives, and that people are just giving up almost. So that's why I encourage you folks not to give up. I encourage you folks to find your way. Find those people like you. Find yourself as you move and navigate with these folks. You are the one that you've been looking for. You are the one you've been looking for. You've been in your back pocket forever. You've been that person. You've been all the things that you wish you were. Now, you're molded, constructed, sometimes manipulated by the people who are around you or belief systems that you've created for yourself. Be able to move from those things. Be able to step away from those things. And it's not simply easy for some people. So I hope that you understand what I was trying to say today is finding your own center, finding your own core belief, finding that thing that you resonate with. And then when you find it, honor it and respect it. But it's going to be multiple things you're going to find, not just one. And when you do find that peace inside your heart, know that others are not at peace. And others, misery enjoys company. You remember that old saying? There are some folks who are just not ready to heal. Okay? And they will find ways to bring you down. Because that's just how it is. How do you protect yourself from that? You have to make a decision that that's not going to be allowed. It's easy as saying, nope, sit. And I know it's hard for some of us to say, nope, that's it. I know that's hard. I know some of you don't have the courage or the strength to say that. But how many battles, how many whippings are you going to have to take before you actually say, you know what, they're a projection upon me. And I'm just triggered by the projection. It's an illusion. It's all bullshit. Hate to say it like that, but it's true. When someone's mad, someone does something to you, really think about it. Turn the story around a little bit. You'll find out very quickly it's not so much about you. It's more about them and how they're inferior about pieces and parts of themselves, and how they're hurt about pieces and parts of themselves. So in order to make themselves look bigger and stronger, more powerful, they'll beat you up. So don't let them beat you up. But don't beat them up either. There's a way to move through this energy and not feel affected by it. There's a way to honor and respect yourself without lowering and degrading yourself to that energy. You'll know what it is. You already know what it is. I don't have to sit here and tell you guys. All of you are very smart. It's not about education. It's not about, it's about the experiences of life that you've lived. So, the example I like to use, why is it that a high school dropout becomes a billionaire and a guy who has 3 master's degrees is unemployed? Thinking. It's stinking thinking. It's the thinking that they've processed. There's millions of stories you can read about people who have no degrees, no nothing, and have created billion-dollar companies. You can read stories. You have friends, I'm sure, who have multiple degrees, and they complain, and they're upset because there's no jobs, blah blah blah, and the younger they're processing me out. But you know what? That's where you have to make a decision. Am I going to live in that energy, or am I going to move out of that energy? Am I going to move forward into the space that's appropriate for me and better for me? And you know what? You can do it. You can do better. You can do better for yourself. But you're going to have to make that choice. You're going to have to make that decision. You're going to have to say, you know what? I don't like where I'm at right now. How do I get out of this? Well, I'm going to get a hold of Iggy. I'm going to get a hold of this person, that person, and maybe they'll help me get through things. All right? But never, 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 never give yourself away if you don't have to. All right? Because giving yourself away is just one of those things that we do a lot. Sometimes we do it unconditionally, not even thinking about it. All right? So if anybody else wants to read real quick before we call it a night, let me know. Pick a number 1 through 5, and I'll give you a card reading real quick so I can tap in. And I'll wait here real quick, see if anybody pops up. And let's see, Darlene said, recently I had to say no. I felt bad. I had disappointed them. Thanks for helping me become stronger. All right, it's cool that you said that. I'm glad you brought that up. You had to say no to somebody and you felt bad. And I can imagine probably you felt bad because you're probably not the kind of person who usually says no. Okay, and you had a disappointment. Disappointed them. But you know, it's not about, it's your choice, it's your decision. You know, they have to understand that when your no is a no, it doesn't mean it's always a no. Okay? But sometimes it's not about disappointing them. It's about, you know, I stood up for myself. Wow, that was you empowered yourself, and you maybe it scared you a little bit. Maybe you saw yourself in a different light. I know it can feel bad, and I know sometimes we have to say no because if we don't, we're just enabling them to do things that they don't need to be doing. We don't want to be enablers. And I know it's easy to be an enabler because sometimes we get enabled and we enable. I understand because that's human nature. So, Darlene, don't worry. Your no's are your no's, your yeses are your yes, your maybes are your maybes, and your no's can change the yes and your yes can change the no. So just let it go, let it flow. Just be in it, be in the rhythm. Don't let it bother you. Don't let it get you down. Because you know what? All of us are beautiful human beings just trying to survive and make it through this world. And you know, not everybody has the capacity to do that. If you have the capacity to do that, if you have the capacity to feel and express your feelings and emotions, then do it. But know that there are other people who can't. By knowing that, you don't have to worry so much. Because when they let you down, you shouldn't be surprised. You know, then you wouldn't be surprised. All right, and so very good. So you know, Darlene, you've created and you understand that you don't want to be in the negative energy, and that's good. That's totally understandable, and that's good for you. That because you know what you need for yourself. That's the thing. We have to learn what's good for us. What's good for us is also helps them. Okay, because then they'll figure out little by little. A negative person eventually figures out that nobody wants to be around them, but they'll use excuses. They'll complain, oh, hey, he's just an asshole. He doesn't want to, you know, he's this or that, or she's this or that. No, you know what? Eventually, the person who is either very negative or very condescending finds themselves alone, by themselves, lonely. And then the story begins. Then they create this story. But now you've created a story for you. You've created this story now, okay, where, I don't want to say it's necessarily positive, but it was a good choice for you. It was a good choice. Okay? So you found the balance and you found the rhythm that you need to be in. So I'm going to put the cards away unless somebody wants cards read. Try to wrap up our show here real quick. But hopefully everybody's gotten a little good nugget here and there. I know some things you probably resonate with, and some things you'll probably maul a little bit of what we talked about. The thing is just to be yourself. Be you. Enjoy you to the best of your ability. Be to the best of your ability. Enjoy the different versions of yourself that will manifest every single day. Every single day, you're manifesting a different version of you. You're not the same person 5 minutes ago. You're not the same person a year ago. But people think you are. People think and they label you and pigeonhole you, and they make you think that, and then we get back into our routine, we get back into our rut. But we change. We change. We wake up and we're a different person. We're 24 hours older when we wake up the next day. You know, every day that you wake up, you're older. You should be maturing as well in your spirituality, in your physicality. Take care of this temple. Like I've been working on taking care of my temple, because this temple is connected to the spiritual part of our temple, the soul, the spirit, the Godverse, all those things. All those things are connected. You know, we are like stars in the sky. All of us shine from time to time, and sometimes we're in the dark. But we're always a star, because when the sun shines upon us, it's so powerful, the light, that our star kind of fades. But within the darkness, when the shadows come, all the good stuff that you've incorporated, all the good things that you've brought into your life, shine in the darkness. The darkness doesn't own you. You complement the darkness. You enhance the darkness. You are your little mini star. You are your mini little sun. Okay? So never forget, the dark and the shadow sides have misconnotations sometimes. You know, we can be blinded by the light. You heard that, blinded by the light. You know, we can be blinded. We were blinded so much that we're in the shadow of that. So it's like a weird dance, you know? It's like a weird dance. Sometimes we feel like we're giving to people and we should be reciprocating something back. No. Give your love unconditionally. Give your love in a way that it's appreciated. Don't expect anybody to say, oh, yeah, I got love from Iggy. I got love from Amber or Melissa or Kate or Hayden, Darlene, everybody who's been popping in today. No, sometimes just be you. Be the love. Be the thing that you are. And just keep going. Because when you give out, when you give, it's going to come back in ways you can't even imagine. Don't wait for it. It's just going to come. When is it going to be my turn? When am I going to get a break? Be grateful. Have gratitude for the teeny small things in life. The small things are as valuable as the big things that come into your life. Those little things sometimes add up, and they become the big thing. And then, you know, it's like life. Every day we get revamped. Every day we get challenged. Every day we get tested. Every day something happens to us. All right, and then all of a sudden, boom, we become this supernova, this amazing thing. And then we project onto other people's lives, and then they see us. That's why people who do the work, people who are like gurus per se, people follow them because these people don't really worry about what other people think. They just share their love. And, you know, everybody wants to be with those people. That's why you see people follow speakers, why people follow certain bands, watch certain movies, or they have favorites. It's not that they want to be like them. They want to be like similar. They want to have that feeling. Okay, so remember, your light can blind you. It can burn you too. The light can give you shadows. The light can, you know, do some things. The light casts shadows. And sometimes we need shadows. Sometimes we have to go into the space to protect ourselves. It's like the sun shining on a hot 100-degree day. What do? We look for the shadow. We look for the coolness. We look for the place to, you know, calm our soul. You know, that's what we have to do. Embrace both, because we're part of both. We live in a dualistic world. The feminine, the masculine, the shadow, the light. The sun rises and sets. The moon is up. The stars are always there. The stars are always shining. But when the sun comes in, we don't see them, but they're there. Okay? It's just cycles. And we're the same way. Some days we're up, some days we're down, sometimes we're in the dark, and sometimes we're in the light. Sometimes we're so bright that people don't want to be around us, and sometimes we're so dark that nobody wants to be around us. And sometimes our pittiness and our sadness attracts more people because they want to fix us or help us, and vice versa. And then sometimes when we're in the light, everybody wants to be around you. Everybody wants to be with you because, oh, that guy's so cool, man. He's cool, you know? All right, so guys, I thank you very much for being here with me for this hour. This Saturday at the Reiki Center from 3 to 6, I'm having a shaman class. It's a medicine wheel and medicine wheel dance class. We're going to be going over the medicine wheel, learning the classes. Okay? And second of all, right after the class at 7 to 9:30 or 9:15, we're going to have a drum circle at the Reiki Center. So it's a jam-packed weekend. We're going to be jamming. We're going to be kicking it. So bring your drum, bring your instruments. Let's hang out. Let's drum. Let's do it. And I think if Hayden's got me hooked up for the swimming pool, maybe I'm doing a swimming pool video tomorrow. I don't know. We'll find out. If not, we'll do something else. All right, guys. Peace and love. Ho'oponopono, irisikwi, matakuyasin, oho. Just be the best version of yourself. Do the best you can every day. Understand that life isn't always going to be a whole bunch of, good stuff. Sometimes the good stuff leads up to some amazing things, and sometimes the darkness leads up to some amazing things. So don't discount yourself. Be the one you're looking for, because you are the magic. You are the power. You can't do it, and you won't do it alone. Peace and love, guys. Be well. I'll talk to you next time. Thank you for tuning in to Iggy Garcia Live, and we'll see you Saturday. Drumming.